welcome back. Banana, roast meat, and jelly. Alice isn't wrong, the mood out there is still grim. Some of the Toyoli remember a time before they were dependent on the soul system, but even they unsettled and wondering aloud if they have the chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. With a good reason too, the journey home won't be an easy one for those who've grown old. That's why it's mostly been younger folk who've been leaving for Terrell, ones with no elders to care for. Part of that problem has reached us in Terrell. My brother is doing all he can to see the Terrell Railroad restored to operation, so that people may come and go freely. Unfortunately, the tracks only go out far as Vanguard, so some travel by foot will still be necessary. So the railroad would make this a sight easier. How long before it's back in service? I can't say. When I left for this visit, Kona seemed reluctant to make promises. But while Shale's working on the data, we can go and see the state of it for ourselves. To Shalani Station, then. I'll make sure to keep Kona informed. Alright, they were working on it, trying not to make the Runique have problems with the train, weren't they? First, let's talk to the mender. And so and so I got 4 pieces of gear through that entire dungeon. I'll resolve and send him to boot. What can I do for you? We're hoping for some good news that the railroad, there's an increasing number of people looking to return to Terrell that can't make the journey on foot. I see. As it happens, the Valerian's also on his way here to take stock of the situation. Ah, scratch that, on his way. Did our little Bun finally outgrow his old clothes? Stop that. As you will know, my previous attire was that of a gleaner, and I have chosen a different path. Now it's time for a change. You're here about the railroad too? It was in part my sake that the original Dawn Blazer was sacrificed, so I felt it only right that I assist with its replacement. Speaking of which, I assume Lamonte is explaining the growing urgency of the need. What have you to report? The new locomotive was on track for completion, but we're having difficulty pulling her into the station in a manner of speaking. You see, when we used the Dawn Blazer to get into the dome, urgency outweighed all other considerations. But now we're back to our original problem: how to run the railroad without upsetting the inhabitants of Mawataso. It is the Runique, though the Retsoro that follow them are none too pleased about their Ezio being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. The solution I devised to quarantine the railroad should address the complaint. But a silent train presents a different danger. The Runique will need to be deterred from wandering across the tracks. And I suppose we can't just blow the whistle at them, or they'll panic and be put off their grazing again. Won't the railroad plotted to avoid the Runique's preferred grazing areas, though? It's odd that they are getting so close in the first place. Runique's grazing patterns have shifted since the tracks were laid. I am not certain why, but I intend to ask the people of Wolfson for the insight. As a major proponent of the railroad, I have a duty to assist in this matter, and I would hear what the Hetsuro have to say about it. They are the ones most affected after all. I believe it would be best to begin by consulting their leader, Awato. The rest of you can accompany us to the encampment if you like. And I guess I'll wait for them to spawn. By resolve, vow of reason, I bid you welcome to our camp. What brings you all the way here? Thank you for seeing us. Our visit concerns the matter of Zoctorel Railroad. You too have noticed the Runique's unexpected change in behavior then. My son, Shepeto, has been looking into this matter. Shepeto? Normally we expect the Runique to keep to their favorite grounds nearby for a while yet, and despite a thorough search, we haven't found anything wrong with the quality or quality of the grazing and Paronen and Yatani. Yet they refuse to keep to where they usually would, instead pushing westward towards a railroad. I certainly see no cause for this unseasonal migration. Nevertheless, should they continue to move west, we will follow. As any true hustler would, I suppose. As you may have surmised, I am of descent. My parents traveled with the Runique as well, though I myself have no memory of the experience. I was left behind as a babe, you see. During such a migration, one of many sacrifices necessitated by nomadic lifestyle, I am forced too soon. Chen's encounter of the kind Pelu merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade, that I might fend for myself. I became his stall-keeper in Toriol market, and it's where the Dawn servant found and adopted me. I had already been in the place sometime when Lamati came to join us. Like me, she had been cast out by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her that suffering. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. Really, I never heard of the Runique choosing a path so odious as for such a terrible decision, or any his willing leaving their own flesh and blood behind. There must have been some exceptional circumstances. Like I say, the idea of following in their footsteps that I might better make excuses for their actions never much appealed to me. It's so often the case, you are correct. Though my discomfort with the Husay way may arise from fear of reopening old wounds rather than blind fervor for innovation, it would nevertheless see me repeat past mistakes. And to refuse to learn one of one's country's treasured traditions would make me a poor dawn servant indeed. Please teach me of the Runique and what they mean to you. I promise to listen with an open mind. We would be delighted. In the meantime, your companions are welcome to look around. I learned the culture with me. I should like to approach this with the fervent curiosity that you and my sister share. But it would be useful to know whether I am or doing it correctly. And settled, you will learn more of the Runique and we'll have a look around planes and perhaps in the process we'll find the answers we seek. The quickest way to learn about our way of life is to do as we do. I hope you'll not above manual labor. I am not the most experienced, I'm ashamed to admit, but I shall put forth every effort. Yep, that's all we ask. Take these tools. It's dangerous to go alone. Now introduce yourself to anyone who looks busy and ask if you can help. We'll be happy to teach you what to do in exchange for another pair of hands to do it. Let's meet here later to share what we've learned. I'm afraid I'm finished with my tasks for the time being, but since you're so eager to learn about our way of life, I tell you a bit about our migration customs. If you're here, you likely already know of the Runique, our Hitso, our guides that we travel with through the turning of the seasons. We trust them to lead us to fertile lands with all we need to survive. But you may not know that sometimes the herd splits into two, bound for different paths. On these occasions, we must also part with half of our numbers. You must think it is strange and stressful custom, but over the years it has been seen us visit new lands and broaden our horizon as a people. This too is the wisdom of the itself. This won't do. The wind will go right through it, and me without my needle is sinew. Box containing bone needles, a sinew, scraps of hide, and other useful mending cosmetics. Oh, these are precisely what I need. I should be able to patch up the covering now. Given how we pack up and reassemble our tents, they're bound to get the occasional tear. Fortunately, the Runique hide they're made of is durable enough that we generally needn't worry. You're learning about the Hitsue way of life, you say, are you? I may have a thing or two to share, but rather than talking your ear off, let me test your powers of deduction. I find answers much easier to recall later if I arrive at them myself. Our herbs provide us with everything we use in medicines, plus soap to drive away pests and sustain our fires. What is it? Is it dung again? Meat and organ. Meat. Sounds like a story. There's a story there, but that is indeed the correct answer. We've discovered myriad uses for runic chips over time, each a boon to our way of life. Where there is a need, our Hetsu always provide. I'm actually working on trying to get a runic myself. I need like 200 of these things. As you stroke the runic's coat, you note that many portions are shaggy and tangled. This one's fur is a bit overgrown, but a good brushing should thin it out. Would you like to give it a try? You'll need the right tool for the job, mind you. A comb of the type you used to would only get lost in the tangle like his aunt. For brushes, sturdy brush suited for grooming, even the fluffiest of runic. Geppetto sent a runic brush with you, did he? I like him. Now just run it through one little patch at a time, gently. Vividly brush the runic until your arms grow weary from the prolonged battle with its coat. It appears much tidier now, though the same cannot be said for your clothes, which have acquired a new coat of their own. Well done, with less excess fur, our friend here will be more comfortable in the afternoon heat and less susceptible to illness. A combed coat also makes it easier for us to identify injuries, such should the need arise. You smell of the grass in the wind, which is a good thing, I promise. You could nearly be mistaken for one of us, and with the horns of runic to boot. Just because I got one on my forehead doesn't mean I can't gore you with it. I have to wonder how Hakona is getting on. I assumed he would be reluctant to get his hands dirty, but it seems his wish to understand us was sincere. Ah, there he is now. It won't stop following me. Apologies for my tardiness. I was tasked with grazing the runic and ended up rather far afield. I found myself wandering hither and thither at my companion's inclinations. To force us back to the trail seemed inappropriate. But how was your own work? Have you anything to share? Nope. Indeed, the runic provide for the Hitsu, and in turn the Hitsui are good to the runic, just as family should be. Mine is not the only way, though at times I lack the experience to know otherwise. My ability to conceive of how a discussion might be right does not mean that it is wrong. My parents had a duty to the runic, as they did to me, and so I wonder if their leaving me behind was not so selfish an act as I once believed. I have no way to know, of course, and regardless, this has no bearing on our present concerns. We are here in service of the people of Toral, after all. Nevertheless, I thank you for helping me find deeper meaning in what we're done today. And I endeavor to remain curious, especially where the Hitsuo are concerned. I'm glad to hear that, Valkona. You're welcome among our herd anytime. Give me the banana. Kona, how did it go? I believe I finally understand the significance of the Hetzo. They are so as they grow, and provide warmth and companionship in a harsh and unpredictable world. They are equal of any man, not beast to be tamed. Our Ronique are sensitive. Through we may treat their injuries or brush their coat to keep them hale, they must ever be free to follow their instincts and seek lands where they might thrive. The Hetzo would never cage them, and neither should we. Control their migratory patterns or capture those who wander too close to the tracks is out of the question. And it's practically important to advance our original line of inquiry. Fortunately, we are able to visit the Ronique's once favored grazing grounds. As we were told, the grass looks fine, but the place is too quiet. It's not just the Ronique, even the birds and field mice have fled. We did encounter one pack of Citroraptors, but they look to be passing through in a hurry. Typically, that sort of behavior is the fauna would be associated with natural disasters, earthquakes, landslides, and the like. The Hetzo have surely put two and two together. Latter have geological measure their use ether to be certain. There is indeed nothing to suggest recent environmental disruption, but I did notice one anomaly. A strange etheric signature to the east, moving across the plains, albeit slowly. Given where we are, I believe we are dealing with a powerful beast, a predator, perhaps given the local fauna's behavior. One of the raptors we saw looked like it had a bite taken out of its tail by something very large fangs. Can't we? Terrestrial? Terrestrial? Renuk Reaver, in the common tongue. Our people have several names for such creatures. Fangs that steal a Hetzo in the night is another fix of fun. Renuk can fend off many predators with their horns, but not the terrestrial. Their scales are tough as adamants, and neither horn nor arrow can pierce them. Good thing we got bullets! And magic. I worked with carnivore with an unusually tough hide. I can't recall any such fauna in this region. They usually roam the wilds in the northeast, and most herds keep well clear of them. I can't tell you where this one is so far from home, and it's packed both. In case I believe the source of the Ronique's conscriptions is clear. As our next move, we must drive this reaver away, that they might return to their grazing lands in peace. Never fear, we will make certain that the beast threatens you no more. The Runic Reaver is a clear threat to the local population. We cannot allow it to roam unchecked. But it won't do for us to go running in search of without having made proper precision to return from it across the plains. If spotted, they may be able to inform us of its recent behavior and when it might be found.
Hetsu is coming this way! It has beasts across the plains in a panic, and our Ronek are practically paralyzed with fear. We must get them to safety!
We can assist by helping to calm the creatures. Once they're less agitated, it should be possible to hurt them.
After they're out of harm's way, we'll deal with the Ronek Reaver.
I suggest you remain here to attend to the Ronek when they arrive.
They'll be safe with me. Please, be careful out there.
Make haste! We must protect the Ronek!
Don't worry, we're right behind you.
I'm in front of you.
Terrified. We must do what we can to soothe them.
That herd should be all right. Let's look for stragglers. The Ronek are to rally too. None shall be left behind. There must be something up ahead. Come! There!
These are no match for the likes of us.
Be here!
Panic was clearly an understatement.
seems that did the trick.
Be healed!
For the fodder at least. But where's... Look there! We've got a big one coming!
Impenetrable scales and wicked fangs. That's a Ronak Reaver, and no mistake.
There! That one there! Not so fast!
Even should it cost me my life.
I will save the Hetzel!
Shoot it in the mouth!
Kona! Are you alright?
Do not concern yourself with me. Get the Ronek to safety.
There. You've nothing to fear.
Right! Let's finish the job!
I made a vow to our people. You shall plague them no longer!
Oh, that.
You find the vow of reason is not without resolve.
Damn it! Not even a scratch!
I'm scratching it. That's all I'm doing.
I need some time to are you? It must have been weakness. I will find it. Get busy. I need time.
Wait a minute, if it's using its tail for that attack, why is it making a cutting noise?
Now we just have to keep it in. Engine corner!
A protective current of ether. But whence does it flow? I've got it! One well-placed piercing round to the chest, and... you're done for! That stemmed the flow of protective ether.
Still not backing down, huh? Fine with me.
Now we carve it.
We did it. The Etso, are they?
The Ronek have all made it to Mehwa Hetsuan. Hunters are scouring the area for any remaining threats. But the local fauna appear to have calmed down.
We cannot thank you enough for your timely aid. You, most of all, Bow of Reason. We feared you would be loath to take direct action, yet you didn't hesitate to put your life on the line for our Hetzo.
I did no more than is a Dawn servant's duty. The ethereal conductivity of those scales is astounding. I dare say we could repurpose them to create a device that emits controlled pulses of ether.
Ether resembling that of the predator the Ronek fear most. It might work. If we struck the right balance, we would have the means to deter the Ronek from approaching the railroad without causing them undue distress.
Incredible! Kona, you've done it again.
I must say, I was hoping I'd never have to see one of these again. Still haven't forgotten the last one. And it's been more than 20 years now. I had come as a trader to the camp in Lozeni-Hetta. A camp that was obliterated in an instant by that monster.
Lozeni-Hetta. That's where the Pelu trader found me as a babe. Please, can you tell me what you saw?
As I said, I had traveled there to trade with our fellow Hetzaro. Like us, they followed the Ronek. And like us, they were visited by a reaver. The fiend struck like a whirlwind in the night. It was chaos. I grabbed some token belongings and bolted in a panic, thinking only of getting as far away as possible. But even in my panicked state, I could not help but notice the young couple racing the other way, toward the fell creature. "We're distracted," I heard one cry. "Save our son! Save the Hetzo!" After that, nothing but the pounding of my heart and feet and Ronek thunder. I ran and ran. And as the sun broke the horizon, I found myself separated from both man and beast. Windborne words say that a group of survivors reunited with their remaining Ronek and have long since moved on. But still more were never seen again, including the brave couple. Or so the story goes.
And what became of their child?
I'm afraid I don't know. But if he wasn't with the survivors, even if he lived through that night, the wilderness wouldn't have been kind to a little one out on his lonesome.
Maybe not. But perhaps a passing Pelu would. And one day, even a Dawn servant himself. All these years, I was convinced that my parents had left me behind to follow after the Ronek. But now I see, they didn't abandon me. They were trying to keep me safe. I've wasted so much time resenting them, when in truth, they gave me everything I have today. It is thanks to them that I live to know the warmth of family, even after they were gone. And now that I am Dawn servant, all of Tuliyola is my family. A family I will always protect. As my parents protected me.
Where did he go? Know that the Hetsu safe is more than enough, yet would it be wrong to hope that in protecting them we also avenge my parents. It is the least I owe to them after all this time. Simon, I thank you for standing by me as dawn servant, and as oft and perfect man beneath the mantle. Now let's return our attention to the matter we came here to address, shall we? We have removed the root cause of the runic strain from their favored grazing and obtained the tools, so I advise an additional precautionary measure, a silent whistle, as it were. This whistle must be capable of emitting pulses of ether strong enough that they will shy away from the tracks on instinct, yet not so strong as to drive them into a panic. If we can achieve this, it will be a far sight better than a traditional whistle, more effective and less stressful for the creatures themselves. Let's return to Shaloni Station and begin work on it then. Walika and his crew will doubtless be relieved to finally have a solution. What would Pandora do if she met her unique? You look pleased about something. Good news for the railroad, I take it? So the Runique were avoiding a predator, smart ones they are, and Valcona not too bad himself. But with this whistle idea, sit tight and we'll have this train on the tracks before you know. Sit tight? Sure. I got a cat to pet. You can get right Pandora.
We're ready to go.
Whoa! She looks as good as new.
If I had time to do a proper job, could have really made her shine. Had to cobble together the exterior with spare parts. We refurbished the interior, though. Not that you can appreciate it from out here. But as far as the Ronek are concerned, we've spared no effort. From the ballast to the ties, we've adjusted every bit of the track so she'll run quiet as a field mouse.
You and your crew have worked wonders. Our nation is in your debt.
Come now. If anything, credit's due to Tuliolal. It's thanks to the folk you recruited from every corner of the continent that we were able to get her up and running so quickly. Besides, the ethereal whistle's the true marvel, and we wouldn't have that without the scales you brought us. However grateful you are, know that we're even more thankful.
Right. If we're done talking, let's put this train through her paces.
There's a Ronek up ahead.
Now, to test our whistle.
On it. Just point it in the general direction and...
Nope.
It's moving away. Meanwhile, our friends over there appear wholly unperturbed.
With this, we can alert those who wander too close without disturbing the rest of the herd.
A roaring success! In a quiet way, like. Then with your permission, Vow of Reason, the Chateau Railroad is back in service.
For a while there, we were real worried that we'd never get the railroad running again. But now that the test drive was such a success, we can breathe easy and start hauling people to and from the dome. First Shaloni, and then the continent. Watch out, Zoctorel. Here we come. I share the sentiment, but we got a mountain of work ahead of us to ensure smooth operations. Time to get back to it. Effort of all here today have not gone unnoticed. Once more, I thank you. As for our own work, I trust you can handle matters in Alexandria, Lamati. Crossroads. Well, it's possible that Shale's made some headway by now, and regardless, we should spread word that the railroad's been restored to service. Shale, what do you have for working on? Gulja's mother. I feel the same in his shoes. I have felt the same. Some questions are painful to leave unanswered. There's no cause to look at me like that. The Kachua we met may have only been a simulacrum, but her memory was real. I needed to search for what she left behind because she left it with me, and I will carry it always. I didn't notice he had that on his pack before. Speaking of things you carrying, is that a teeny tiny Kakia? What? No. It's merely a token from Alexandria. Our friends in Oblivion would not take no for an answer, and I thought it as good a souvenir as any. Whatever you say, for what it's worth, I think it's a nice way to bring her with you on your travels. Yes, well, you're off to the dome now, aren't you? I think I might join you for a time. See, there is a lot I can do for the people there. Much changed though it is, I still consider it my home. Of course, we can give you the full story on the way. one hand and I got my controller in the other. Simple yet elegant solution, and thus is the railroad back in operation. Meanwhile, Shell has nearly finished processing the data. She will be able to share her findings with us. And Stola, I'm interrupting something, I gather. Stola, what brings you here? I've seen enough of the gate and the sky deep cenote for now, so I'm shifting my investigation to living memory. While there, I thought I would do well to have the company of an expert on electrope. I'd like to take a closer look at the place myself. I can join you once we're finished here. Lest you fear I've forgotten, once I've made headway with living memory, the key in your keeping shall be the next subject of my scrutiny. The sippy cup of power!
There was a mountain of data to sift through, much of it tantalizing, I admit. But it will take time to fully decrypt everything that piques my interest, so to answer our immediate question, I've been concentrating my efforts on the audio saved by Taishul Jah herself. While I've not listened to it yet, I have a selection ready for playback. Would you like to hear it now?
Yes. Please.
All right. Several audio files will now play in sequence.
My name is Taishul Jah, and I decided to record this to help me put my thoughts in order, I suppose.
Mother?
Officially I was a Virgin with the Lance Guard. I was part of a contingent dispatched to Yasulani to hunt a Tural Vitral that was wreaking havoc. After our mission was complete, I elected to remain. It was the perfect opportunity to document the geographic distribution of medicinal herbs in this region. Or so I said when requesting special dispensation. In truth, I could not bear to return to Turyulal. I had hoped to aid Commander Zoralja in the right of succession, but he did not so much as look my way. I was never in contention, of course, one of the nameless many in his army. To go back and face that reality was too much for me, so I ran. And in my cowardice, I stumbled upon this path. A path that changed my life. When the dome appeared, I found myself trapped within, and reunited with my commander. How am I to speak of Commander Zoralja? I admired him. His incontestable strength, his unwavering focus. He was a man of great passions. I watched him, captivated by his intensity. From afar, I would not dare approach. And in watching, I came to know him. His eyes too sought the distance, but not as mine did. He yearned not for another, but something else, beyond the horizon. That gaze would never fall upon me. I knew. I knew. The experiment will soon proceed to its next phase, and when it does, as he promised, I will have my heart's desire. Today, it should have been today. The beginning, what I have dreamed of for so long. I hold a future in my arms. If he could see him, embrace him, surely that would be enough. So full of hope I was. A foolish hope.
Its scales are blue.
He's your son.
My... No, I can't. I don't know how. How could I? How? To raise a child, be a father. I don't. I can't. No! No! Get it away from me. Get that thing away from me!
Shh. It's all right, little one. Papa was just surprised. That's all. He'll come around. We'll be a happy family. Kaniloka's shouting for me. The research hasn't been going well. But I can't let him take it out on my baby. Hush now, little one. I know just where to hide you.
That's all of them.
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the drift downs a few years ago.
We know some manner of accident happened at the facility after this was recorded. Perhaps your mother couldn't come back for you.
Hey, Gololcha.
I'm fine, Lamachi. Father and mother, they were both so lonely. If we could have been together, maybe they wouldn't have been. But sometimes things don't work out, no matter how hard you try. I can't tell if I'm happier now. but it's better to know, I think. Thank you, everyone.
Spare to know, a profound response for one so young. Though I wish he didn't have to be, Gulja is indeed wise beyond his years. Yep, one never outgrows the need for dependable companions. Just fortunate that he has you. Thank you, Shale. Because of you, I got to hear my mother's whole story. You heard it because you were brave enough to listen, Gulja. If you remember one thing, remember that. Now then, having shared what I can at present, I am ready to head to living memory when you are. I'm planning to be thorough, so we will need to stop for supplies on the way. I said I promise we won't remain over long. I know we all have much and more to attend to. For now, farewell. What do we have to attend to? A word before you leave. Our networks already spread word of the railroad. I expect people would be clamoring to get on the first train back. Yet the reaction been the polar opposite. Scant few seem inclined to depart Alexandria anytime soon. But when we spoke before, you said many from Taral were eager to reunite with friends and family. We were concerned about getting there through Vanguard. If so, we could take turns accompanying them. In any case, we need to speak with the people ourselves. Let's start at Lenoy Node 9. I think it was just a little bit before the story started when we heard about the Terrell, whatever, the Aspis, the big bunny, happened just a little bit before we got here and this story started. So it's a bit interesting to see where he battled the bunny. There must still be people gathering in Praxis Park. Let's try there first.
People look uneasy. Did something happen?
Have you heard? Someone was killed in the Thunder Yards.
The Thunder Yards was one of the hunters slain by a beast.
It was a hunter, all right, and a veteran at that. But it was no fiend that did him in. Only a random bolt of lightning.
Such a senseless way to die. They say that he expended his last soul cells during Zoraljar's attack on the city.
For an upright, hard-working man to meet such an unceremonious end, it feels wrong. But we'll be fine, won't we? Even if the system no longer erases our memory of the departed, the regulators continue to function. I shan't go before my time. Growing old and passing peacefully with the help of the ushers is only natural.
Well, you may think so, but how are we to know? We have no memory of those who have gone. More may have met violent deaths than passed from old age, and we would be blissfully unaware. It could happen to you, or me, to any of us.
Then what are we to do? Spend every waking moment thinking only of how we might die?
With time, I had hoped that they'd be able to adjust to their new situation. But it's only gotten worse.
Look! It's Queen Sphene!
God damn it, she's raised from the dead. Get me my shotgun. I'm taking her out once and for all.
What?
Help, Queen Sphene! The grown-ups are really upset, and I don't know what to do.
I see that you are as kind-hearted as ever, Nico. Never fear. I'm here to set things right.
I don't understand. Sphene is gone. Forever.
I don't know, maybe somebody had a backup on a floppy disk.
You there, Gusson. You were the Queen's aide, weren't you? What's the meaning of this?
Begging your pardon, Vow of Resolve. But Her Majesty Queen Sphene is paying visit to her people, as is her wont.
What are you talking about? Sphene is dead. You officiated the funeral yourself. We all placed flowers to mourn her passing.
A funeral? For Her Majesty? What a curious jest. You know full well that ceremony was to commemorate those lives lost during the attack of Alexandria. Her Majesty walks among her people that she might support them in this most trying of times. Surely that is not cause for consternation.
Your Majesty, won't you free us from these terrible memories of the departed? This is no way to live. Not for us, nor our children.
I wish that I could. Truly I do. But with living memories shut down, even I cannot restore the system that once afforded us that comfort. You needn't fret, however. I have prepared an alternate solution.
All of us shall be made endless.
Not again!
I have created a new system that allows you to transplant your memories directly into an ethereal vessel. One not reliant upon soul cells. This way, you need never again fear death. You may live as you please, and for as long as you like. Our stores of ether are, at present, not sufficient to provide this boon to everyone. But some of you received neo-regulators for the funeral ceremony, did you not? And there are still more we have yet to distribute. 5,000 in all. One day soon, those with neo-regulators will be called to join the Endless, and thence be free of suffering forevermore.
But only 5,000 of us?
Begin the killing game. like your belly rub?
The real Sphene would never be content to save only some of her people. Who are you?
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
Let's return to the back room. I need to calm down, and then we'll talk.
I summon Bahamut! Oh, I thought they were going to talk. We only caught the image from distance, but I can tell you that the message about neo-regulators was recent, received with utmost clarity. It couldn't have been Sphene. She should have been destroyed with the Meso terminal shut down. Without a single Alexandrian to bear witness, presented with an identical figure claiming to be their beloved queen, there's no surprise that they would choose to believe she's alive. What's troubling, however, is their denial that the funeral was held in her honor, just as if their memories have been erased. Given that the members of Oblivion remain unaffected, that was likely the work of the regulators, but by whose design? Someone smart enough to play at being the Queen of Reason, and that, guys, even if some suspect deception, most of Alexandria will be on her side. We need to figure out who she really is. Agreed wholeheartedly. We should avoid drawing more attention than we already have. We must be patient until Oblivion's network turns up a lead, or until our self-proclaimed queen makes her next move. Is that the end for this update now? Meanwhile, in living memory! Boop.
Oh, where am I? My people, are they safe? Why am I?
fear of death, the people turn to Queen Reborn, their fates to learn. And that is the end of the 7.1 update, at least for the main story. I don't know the next time I'll pick up with recording this because I don't think I'll be recording the Tribals questline. I thought about it while I was recording this one, like, I better not record that. And I don't want to record raids because I need to pay attention to the chat. It's in the corner when I'm doing those. But yeah, probably the next time I record will probably when the Manderville questline comes out, or if another purple quest that gets my interest pops up. So that'll be it, and I'll see you all in the next.